Hi, I'm Nathan. Welcome back to Holy Hypocrites. This is TLDR. These are audio versions of some of my top blog posts. I know not everybody has the time or desire to read, so these will be posted as podcasts on Apple or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, and on the YouTube channel at Holy Hypocrites. Enjoy. Is social media evil? Up close and impersonal, how social media shapes our souls. Originally posted May 14th, 2025. Microscopes and microphones. As a youth pastor, I am often asked about social media, usually by worried parents. I'm part of the last generation to remember life before social media. My first brush with it was MySpace, late in high school. Facebook launched in 2004, but it didn't really take off until I was in college. That means my generation didn't grow up with it, we grew up into it. We had to incorporate this new magical tool just as we were figuring out adulthood, relationships, politics, and what we believe about the world. We were digital toddlers trying to run with digital fire. When I was asked to preach on the subject in 2022, I came to this conclusion. Social media boils down to two powerful concepts, microphones and microscopes. It lets everyone speak louder and see more. But before we go any further, don't hear what I'm not saying. Social media itself is not a sin. TikTok isn't run by demons. Blue Sky membership doesn't require the mark of the beast. Eating isn't a sin, but gluttony is. Conversation isn't a sin, but gossip is. Being seen isn't wrong, but craving attention will destroy your soul. Tools are neutral. What matters is how they're used. Microphones. Louder does not equal better. Proverbs 18 says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit." From day one, humans have been communicators. God made us in his image, and part of that image is relational. We were made to know and be known. God speaks, he listens and responds, and we reflect him every time we do the same. Social media at its best is an extension of this. It helps us connect, share, learn, emphasize, even laugh together. The desire to be known and to belong is built into us, and social media offers a way to seek that connection. Even the nature of God is three persons in fellowship, and being made in his image, the desire for connection is instinctual. So, of course, in the digital age, we would lean heavily, enthusiastically into digital communication. Think about microphones. Two men used them to communicate to millions. One was Billy Graham, another was Adolf Hitler. One preached a gospel of grace, the other preached genocide. The tool didn't determine the outcome, their hearts did. So too with social media. You can use your platform to shame or to encourage, to bless or to manipulate. You can be known for clever sarcasm or for consistent grace. The microphone will carry whatever message you give it. James 3 says, "How great a forest is set ablaze by such a small fire, and the tongue is a fire, a world of unrighteousness. With it we bless our Lord and Father, and with it we curse people who are made in the likeness of God. From the same mouth come blessing and cursing. My brothers, these things ought not to be so." The greatest evangelism tool in history. Let's be real. If your mission is to share the gospel of Jesus with the entire world, nothing has accelerated that mission or empowered that mission like the internet. When Jesus gave the Great Commission, go into all the world and make disciples of all nations, his followers couldn't imagine airplanes or smartphones. The mission was daunting, but God opened doors. Peter's sermon in Acts chapter 2 reached 3,000 souls because it was divinely amplified, a light set on a hill. Today, you can share the gospel in Detroit, Mumbai, and Sao Paulo before lunch. Matthew chapter 5 says, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Let your light shine before people in such a way that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven." Hey, let me pause for just a second and ask you to look down and make sure you are subscribed if you're on YouTube, or following the show if you're listening as a podcast. It helps me know that these are bringing value to someone, and it helps other people find them. So please just glance at that real quick and we'll get back to the show. One of my first and greatest ministry mentors, Pastor Bruce Dick, who today serves with Evangelism Shift USA, their Facebook presence reaches hundreds, maybe even thousands, across multiple continents. Bruce has friends in more countries than I've ever visited. One post could cross 6 time zones faster than it took to write. But Bruce also wisely reminded me once, social media doesn't make disciples. Real disciple making happens in real relationships. You can't replace the gathered church with a live stream. You can't outsource correction, encouragement, and love to a comment section. Still, social media can start relationships. It can plant seeds. It is a useful tool. Microscopes, everything on display. Finally, social media exposes us, easily and seductively, to all 7 deadly sins. Envy, greed, gluttony. Every scroll reveals something richer, fitter, someone more popular on a better vacation. Influencers monetizing everything. Ads promise life change if you just buy one more thing. Entire channels dedicated to overeating and hyperindulgence. Sloth. Apps like Amazon, DoorDash, and Uber Eats allow you to even have that meal or that outfit delivered right to your door. Wrath and pride. Reddit and Twitter, or X, but no self-respecting adult calls it that, are effectively built on wrath and pride. I think 80% of those platforms can sort into wrath and pride, and the other 20% is lust. Or maybe that's really the 80%. If the microphone broadcasts what we say, the microscope zooms in on who we are. But the microscope goes further. It gives us access to everyone else's lives, magnified and manicured, and that's where the danger grows. 1 Samuel says, "For God does not see as man sees, since man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." These sins aren't new, but never before have they been this accessible, this customized, and normalized. Social media algorithms don't just reflect your desires, they shape them. They feed you what you like. They keep you hungry for attention, affirmation, or escape. In that sense, social media is specifically calibrated by our sin nature, for our sin nature. Is social media evil? Ultimately, social media is not a sin. It's an immensely powerful tool. Unfortunately, it's a tool specifically calibrated by our sin nature, for our sin nature. Is it evil? No. Is it dangerous? Yes. Is it worth it? A recurring theme of this series has been 1 Corinthians chapter 10. Says all things are lawful, but not all things are helpful. All things are lawful, but not all things build up. Following Jesus is hard enough. The writer of Hebrews has a simpler approach. He says in Hebrews 12, "Let us also lay aside every weight," some translations say every obstacle, "and sin which clings so closely. Let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith." What if I just relentlessly look to Jesus? What if I filter every single "is it evil" or "am I allowed" question through my view of Jesus? That doesn't make it easy. We might often miss out on things, but it does make it simple. In the words of Paul, "For I desired to know nothing among you except Jesus Christ and Him crucified."